Top Tier.
Oh yeah.
She's like, "Are you ready?" I'm like, "Fucking just do it." So she starts counting down, and then she's like, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, action. I'm like, "You're not supposed to do that.
Yeah, you can't do one in action.
You're like 1, and then you point." So she got it right the other day, and I was like,
What was the thing too? It was like 1, 2, 3, go, or do you go on 1, 2, 3?
"Yeah, what do you like?" We do the same thing.
I'd say it's 1, 2, 3, go.
Brady's been. This is my last week at home, so Chris is like, "You should put him to bed. This is gonna be the last week you're gonna ever put him to bed," and blah blah blah. So he's like, "Nope, I want mom or I want Albo." We're all like, "Let's play rock paper scissors." So is it 1, 2, 3, shoot, or is it
Yes.
1, 2, 3? You know,
It's
everybody's
1, 2,
like,
3, shoot. It's 1, 2, 3, shoot.
So yeah.
Anyways, hey, so we're live again. We're going to do one more live show, and then we're going to do 2 recorded shows. And the 2 recorded shows are going to be for Friday of next week, and then the following Friday, because I am going to be gone as well. We got a lot of movies.
I will be here, but I can't do it. I can't carry a show by myself like you have in the past.
It's tough. I wouldn't do it.
Is. It's so much easier just talking. Like I said, I just feel like this podcast is me talking to you.
Yes.
Sometimes people chime in, and
sometimes they do. Sometimes they rightfully don't because we're fucking dog shit. Yeah. That's fine.
Yet other people I hear, they're like, "Dude, sorry, podcast. You guys are funny as fuck. Holy shit."
Dude, I got a text over the weekend about the Blazing Saddles bit. So I'm working, doing my thing, and I get this text from Kirk, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on with the Blazing Saddles bit? Do you recall this?"
Not off the top of my head, but I think if you speak for a minute, I'm going to catch
We were talking about writing a movie, as we just were talking about writing a movie.
As we were 5 minutes ago.
And for some reason, I couldn't, and I'd said some really shitty things before this that were way worse, but I couldn't get out, "It's Blazing Saddles, but with no black people."
I do.
And he goes,
"We're trying to fill black people's roles with white people. We can't figure out how to do that."
So
That makes no sense that way.
because everyone seems to think that Blazing Saddles is the most racist movie. I think it's not. I think it's a movie that
100%
has
the most racist movie ever made.
Yeah, so I think it's the protagonist is a black guy that's fighting systemic racism and being a hero in the society despite the racism.
When Blazing Saddles was filmed,
Sure.
the term systemic racism
Didn't
wasn't
exist.
even thought of.
No.
Mel Brooks was just a genius, and
Still is. Still cooking.
I just think that movie was completely appropriate for the time. It could never get made today.
No.
We talked about this in Office and a couple of other shows just would never get made.
90%. So I was watching weird clips of All in the Family. Another
Trying to think of that too.
another banger.
Another shit would never make it today.
But you know that guy, Carol O'Connor, was extremely, and I hate saying like liberal or whatever, but like for the times, he was a very liberal guy. But that show in and of itself kicked off, first of all, Sammy Davis Jr. kissed him on the lips.
Oh, yeah.
Which was written in.
That was a huge, big deal.
Yeah, the Jeffersons were a spinoff of that show. I mean, that was a platform for a lot of the black culture to go get their own shows and shit like that.
Sanford and Son.
So yes, exactly. If that was a racist show, the joke is that the guy is so stubborn, so set in his ways that he's not going to change. But society's changing at such a fast pace that this guy's kind of caught up in a tidal wave. And you get to see the error of his ways. So it's not a racist show.
You get to see the what?
Error of his ways? Right? Sure. What's the word?
Air?
Like Air Jordan? Anyways, here's our song.
And go.
Hey.
All Okay,
They go from the dome, exploring topics, they just turning these stones. So big in Germany that you would think they Germany's own. Daryl and Chris hold the reins, get them hooked, right? While Jerry and Tokes and Ortez sips the bush light. Throwing a bet, the jokes fall from an innocent vet. They got Daryl cracking up, big for a hat. Yeah, just you know they ball like the Wolverine. They moving different when they drop you just like.
Okay, terrific.
Welcome to show number 2. Okay, terrific. Daryl, how you feeling?
I'm feeling great, baby.
That's good. That's good. It's important to feel good.
Yeah. I forgot legit what we were just. I had a point to
All in
say,
the family?
but then you're like, you dropped the beats, and I completely forgot, and I went into my happy place because I like that song.
We were talking about All in the Family and how there's this grumpy guy that's caught in a changing society. And the whole crux of the show is to make fun of this guy that can't change his ways. And you see the error of his ways.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's, that's kind of missing nowadays. And so that's the thing too. I brought it up with,
You think that's missing these days?
yes, 100%.
I do too. I mean, it's you and I can laugh at ourselves.
Yes.
There's way too many people that are way too in touch with their feelings that they can't do that.
100%.
And when that happens, they feel as though they are attacked and they are owed an apology and people need to tiptoe. And I forgot what it was. The other day I saw a post on Facebook or a reel or something about people's triggers. Your trigger's your fucking problem. I'm not tiptoeing around it.
Yeah, and you can also go through life and not be like, it's one thing if you're out there searching to make people feel bad about themselves, who they are, what they feel, what they believe in, all that kind of shit, right? It's another thing to be a person that goes out and just lives their fucking life and then gets ridiculed for so today, for example, I bought Olivia we have this like closet underneath the stairs in the basement, and Olivia's hell bent on making that her clubhouse. Okay. So I had this like TV laying around, but it's like a 50-inch TV. And so she plugged it in and she's like moving it, and there's like footprints on it and shit. I'm like, fuck that. I find this TV for sale at Walmart for $88. It's like a 32-inch TV. And I had a Boom TV stand.
Oh,
like a wall mount. Yeah.
You want but it's got the arm.
It's got the arm on it. Yeah. So I was like, so for $88, like we go to Walmart, I buy that fucking thing and I hook it up in the thing and it's all good. But at Walmart, I go to the self cash out because fuck, if you ever want to go through like a regular fucking cashier anymore.
Cashier.
Yeah. And you're waiting forever. Right. So I go to the thing and I realize it's still got the security band on it, that needs a clip to take it off so you can walk out the doors, right? So I go to the guy and I go, hey man, can you unlock this? And he goes, what'd you say? And I was like, sorry, it's just an expression. It's my fault. So I acquiesced to his position. I'm not going to argue the fucking point and say back in my day, all the kind of shit, right? I'm like, sorry, can you just unlock this thing? He goes, yeah, I guess I can. Well, yeah, because you're fucking working here. Of course you can.
Thank you for doing your job.
Yeah. Hey, good job, blue hair. So pay for the shit, walk out. And it just rubbed me the fucking wrong way. Now, if I was an asshole, if I was a hammer looking for nails, I would have just kept hammering, kept at it. What do you mean by that? Whatever. You're fucking 6'8". I'm fucking, he's bigger than me. You know what I mean? Or they are bigger, whatever he is, right? Whatever it is, But back in the day, if you saw somebody that was like Pat, remember from Saturday Night Live, Pat? Yeah. And if you called that person an it, you were a bigot. The whole thing was this person's so androgynous that you can't tell if it's a boy or a girl or a man or a woman. But they would dare never call that person an it. Oh, nice.
Questionable genders and cops.
Yeah. So if I was a dickhead, I would have kept going at it. Instead, I said, whatever. And then here's where...
Were you alone?
No, I had the kids.
That's why.
No, I still...
Dude, I don't know. I think if you were alone, you would have...
I'm just too tired to fight that fight, man.
Really?
Like, yeah, I'm
I
over
don't
it.
really give a fuck anymore.
I know.
I've stopped caring. I really stopped giving a literal fuck about anybody's feelings.
Well, do you remember how asinine it was?
If something your feelings are hurt, that's your fault. I'm sorry, you're soft.
Do you remember how like asinine it was? Like, let's say, fucking 10 years ago, where there'd be this like it's an attack on Christmas, right? So all the right people on the right would be like,
Nakatomi Plaza.
yeah, it's fucking yeah, no shit. All the people on the right would be like, what? It's Christmas time, and if someone says Merry Christmas at fucking Target to somebody, and that person lashes out and
say
says
that because that's against their religion or their feelings, or yeah.
But it's the same thing now, 10 years removed from that. Now, when the person unhooked the thing, I go, hey, thanks, man. I appreciate it. And again, I said man, even though I said man in the first place, and they corrected me. It's, at a certain point, you got to forgive my fucking ignorance. So I have to change my entire pattern of speech, and even being thankful and respectful to you, I got to change 100% of my ways.
Don't care.
That's where I kind of get off the fucking train. I'm just a bit over.
100% off that train. I am.
And I never want to make anyone feel bad.
Just the other day, I was telling you, wasn't it Adam that put up that post about that non-binary that got pulled over by the cops going the fucking, she was like, I think she was drunk.
She was, yeah.
She was going the wrong way and got pulled over by the cops, and she kept saying how nervous and everything she was, and then the cop said, ma'am, can you please stop out? And she's like, I take offense to that. I'm non-binary.
Mm-hmm.
And the cop is like, I'm sorry.
Sure. I'll do my best.
I'll do my best.
Yep.
Well, then he starts running her, which she's an obvious fucking female.
Sure.
Obvious
sure.
female. Runs her through the sobriety test, and he calls her ma'am again, and then she snaps. And he's like, I'm sorry, I'm trying. At that point, I'm done.
Yeah.
And I wondered this. I'm like, why don't these people just breathalyze these obvious drunks? But in order for this shit to stay.
Yeah, we talk about it too. There's different states and different protocols and stuff like that.
Gotta go through that shit. But even reading the comments after in that video, that officer showed way more fucking restraint than I would have.
Yes, I agree.
This was an absolute female. I don't care how you feel. I don't care what you think you are.
Yeah.
You look at her, she's a woman.
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying, ma'am, I'm sorry. I'm saying, hey, lady, whatever. I'm not tiptoeing around your triggers. I'm not anymore. I'm done. You look like a chick, I'm going to call you a ma'am. You look like a dude, hey, thanks, buddy. Well, I'm non-binary. I feel like I'm a chick. But you have a deep voice and Adam's apple, and you still have your dick. You're a dude.
Yeah,
I'm done towing around this shit. I'm done. And everybody's like, you won't adapt to the times. You're right, I'm not gonna. This is the way I grew up. There's
Archie Bunker.
Genders, and that's it. There's nothing you're gonna do to prove me or persuade me to think that there's an extra gender or not.
Yeah, it's a little tough. And also like
it's not at all. It's not tough at all.
Dare we ask that there be some commonality, right? Some uniformity, right?
That's
so
a very good word that I have not heard used before.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a good word.
I'm a wordsmith. I'm a poet, Daddy.
Drunk.
But got away with words though.
Wordsmith.
But if police have to pay attention to what's happening in this district that they serve in, and then if you go sometimes if you go 1 mile over, you're across other state lines and the laws are completely different, all that kind of shit. I think there's a problem with uniformity in the legal system. I think there's a problem with uniformity in this new craze or new fad or new way of living that is this gender fluidity thing, right? Dare we say, right? I just wish that like the girl I'm going to marry that has Tourette's, she has a card Probably. It says I have Tourette's on it, right? Like Cartman in South Park. You get a card that says I have Tourette's, don't kick me out of the bank, whatever, right? Maybe we should have a card presented to us that says, I'm old. I'm sorry. I was born in the 70s. And you just pass out the card and they go, yeah, we're going to give you the benefit of the doubt. Because I have the ability with my wordsmithery to make people feel like shit. I can talk shit better than probably anybody I've ever known. I don't.
I went into therapy once.
Yes. I made a girl almost jump out of a car one time.
I have broken a couple souls purposely.
But so here's the deal. I bet you in that situation, and I don't know the situation, never heard you talk about the situation, but I bet you you might have said something, she said something, then you said something to try to quell it, try to squash it, and then they said something else.
Way too many times tonight.
Balls?
Quell.
Cunt? Oh.
We've used quell too many times. It's the third time it's been mentioned.
It's the word of the day. Ah! But you try to squash it, and then they come over the top, and then that's when you get that. And I don't know if it happens to you. When somebody comes over the top, I finally go to myself, oh, good, I can be me. And then me comes out, and I say some fucked up shit.
Mine happened. We were at Queen of Heaven, having a good time. We were drunk. I'm drinking the fucking pasta containers full of beer.
Right.
And we were just outside the tent. People feel that when you're outside, it's okay to smoke. Okay, that's great.
Fair.
Girl kept, instead of tipping her head back and blowing the smoke up in the air and just letting it go, which,
sure.
Guess what? Crosswind comes and it blows a little back at me. Hey,
you got to take it.
You tried.
It is what it is.
You didn't blow it in my face.
Common courtesy.
You tried to get it up into the airstream and whatever. Then guess what? I'm okay with that. I'll
Sure.
just turn my head and whatever. She legit was just half of her fucking Newport or Virginia Slim just went, and then she turns around. She's like, right at.
Yeah.
Second time it happened, I said, "Hey, excuse me, miss. Can you please blow that
Anywhere
layer
else.
up anywhere else, please?
Make an attempt."
And I was legit sincere. I said, "Could you please try to do this?"
That's very nice of you.
She clapped back.
Mm.
And then there was no, well, I'm going to come back and wait for her to go over the top. I immediately climbed to the top rope and brought the fucking people's elbow down.
Superfly Snuka. Yeah, love it.
And we know what happens when you and I get a crowd, when we make a couple jokes and the laughs start coming. We start moving it up the ladder, and then we get.
It's a great feeling, though.
I did that.
Yeah.
And then I broke this girl's soul.
Mm-hmm.
And when it happened, everybody was fucking laughing, just like they were mocking this girl. And they were like I said, I had a crowd at this point. And then I legit took her, snapped her right over my fucking knee, broke her soul in half, and I watched it leave her body.
Mm-hmm.
Her friend goes, "We need to get the fuck out of here."
You're in deep water now.
I look over and I'm just fucking drinking my beer and I am unleashing the inner demon
Sure.
on this woman, this girl. She was a girl. I mean, this was years and years and years ago when I was a little younger. And my friends their jaws are hanging. And they leave. And it was like 2 or 3 minutes of dead silence. And they're like, "Dude," like, "What?" And they're like, "I have never heard that before. You made up 3 words that I've never heard before." Like Brendan was there. And Brad.
Yeah.
And
They
were dumbstruck.
Yep.
I legit put that girl in therapy. She was crying when she left. And guess what? I felt great about myself.
Sure. You got it.
Let's get the next fucking beers. Let's go. And they're like, "We don't need to fight anybody. We're just going to let Daryl break them with words."
Yeah. And I've found that over the years that
I don't fucking care anymore.
it's better to have social restraint. However, when somebody comes over the top, look at you managing that thing like a fucking pro.
What, dude? Now that I've figured this thing out,
It's great, isn't it?
yeah, it is. And I'll tell you, even like a cold beer
Mm-hmm.
in this, like it's the first time I drank a Coors Light can out of this thing, I was like, how the fuck does this thing work? And the rubber up here was a little.
You got a
tight.
MacGyver some shit? Yeah.
But when I got done with it and I pulled the can out, the can was blue. The fucking mountains were they were still blue.
Yeah. It's
And
called a
I don't
Frost
know-
Buddy for those
I don't know what
shopping
the
at home.
fuck this thing is made of and everything, but I will tell you, it works like a fucking dream. Your beer is cold right to the last fucking sip.
I'm glad you like it.
Dude, I love it. I use it all the time.
My only problem with it, because I bought it sight unseen, and they're about $30 per, which is a little costly, but it's a local business, and my friend knows the guy that made the thing. It's called a Frost Buddy, and it has multiple settings based on the type of drink that you're going to drink.
Yeah, inside of here,
Yeah, it's
there are
amazing.
different ridges that will. This thing will hold a fucking White Claw.
What
It'll
Claire?
hold a Busch Light, normal can, Bud Light can, whatever
Yeah.
kind of beer you normal can. It'll hold with the Coors Light tall cans. It'll hold a White Claw. It'll hold beers. If you want to, you can pull the inside out and
Mhm.
use it as a tumbler.
Yep.
And I was skeptical because the first one I had was a Coors Light. It was the only thing I had in the house, and it was like, there's like a little rubber gasket here at the top, and it took a little bit to get it because it screws on. And once you get it set, it literally turns like not even a quarter turn, and that motherfucker.
Well, you got to lick it and then stick it. That's the thing.
You gotta lick it, and then you say, "Yeah," but
Yeah.
I mean, fuck! I shook this beer up. I was just about to open it.
It's great, dude.
Once you get the top screw down, whatever's in there, I mean,
It's not going anywhere.
no, and it's tough to drink a normal can of beer out of here because
Yeah.
it's right at the lip, but you can still get your mouth, you can still drink out of it. It keeps fucking beers ice cold right to the end, and I love it, dude.
My only problem with it, if I could give them any feedback, and I'm sure they don't give a shit about what I think about the thing I bought my friend.
Yeah, but
I-
you put up a post on their page, they're gonna respond to you. So
I wish that when you order Michigan, it would be Michigan blue with the maize lettering and not gray. I
Oh,
know.
you mean the whole thing?
I wish that was blue.
Yeah.
And that, but who? Now we're splitting hairs.
Yeah. Would you like it like that? I mean, I would love one of these with the Michigan logo, and then on the back, it's got the Wolverine logo
Yeah.
on it. Because I got
Well, I'm sure we could have done that. Yeah.
the guy that runs our tailgate. I have a tumbler from him too, and it's the same thing. It keeps. I drink vodka water out of it and shit. When I'm done, I just set it on the counter. The next day, the fucking ice is still in it.
Yeah.
I'm like, this thing's it's amazing.
Yeah. So I have a 20-ounce Yeti.
Heavy.
Yeah.
It's telling you when the beer's empty because it's got a little extra weight to it. You're like,
That's
"Oh,
machined. I got a 20-ounce Yeti that in the morning I fill up with ice and water. And I drink the water down. Then I drink my coffee. And then when the coffee's halfway down, I go upstairs and fill up the water again. The ice stays in there all day. The ice is there the entire day. It's great.
That's what this is, a hydro flask. All the cool kids. Aubrey had like 6 of these. And then, with work and everything, I drink like 4 or 5 of these easily a day. And they just stay so cold. Ice stays in there. They're great.
I
But
call that hydrating.
Yeah.
Because we're just men trying to fucking make it in the world, We're hydrating. I think have you ever seen the show Curb Your Enthusiasm?
yes.
What I like about that show is that this guy, and again, you have to have fuck you money to act like fuck you all the time.
I don't have that kind of money, but I kind of act like that a lot.
I know. So, or you need to travel.
I'd hate to be me with fuck you money. There'd be so
You'd
many
be a
unhappy people.
cocksucker. You'd be.
Woo-hoo-hoo.
I'll always love you. You're a brother to me. I love you, but it'd be tough. This steak sucks. Ugh. Just throw it across the restaurant. But
no, I'd still hold on to it and just slap somebody across the face. You know, like that tortilla challenge.
yes,
Yeah.
you're a Ruth Chris bitch.
Slapping people with steaks.
Yeah, that guy. What I love about that show is that you love the guy because you know he doesn't mean it, but you know he's unbendable. And I think that I'm very malleable. I try very hard to be a good word, right? Good word.
Yeah.
I try very hard to make sure that I'm not putting anybody out. That's just my maybe built-in insecurities, probably. You know, like I never want anyone to be mad at me. I never do. But when somebody is
Like that.
when someone's poking the fucking bear, and then the bear gets to come out of the fucking cage,
How do
It
you
is-
blame the bear?
it's so fucking freeing, dude. It is so freeing. It is so freeing. It's the like when you can finally be unapologetically how you are feeling inside. Because I eat a lot of like I push it down. This is why men die of heart attacks. I keep pushing it down.
And that
Or,
was- me,
you know when you're in an argument, let's say you're in an argument with your wife, okay? And this it's impossible for our wives to leave us without lawyers. It's a lot of work. So if you're gonna get in an argument with anybody, it'd be the person that legally has to go through a lawyer to leave you, right? It's that person. But there's still times where I'll, even if I know I'm right, or I can push the issue, or I can go a little bit further and make her feel bad, I'll still go, it's probably better if I just shut up and just leave it. But when,
I wish I had that. I could just push that switch and just say, you know what? Hey, live the fight another day.
let it die, let it die.
I just step on throats. and it's bad, and then it's 2 or 3 days of building that back to being normal and whatnot.
What's worse is like that
Chris knows that with me though. She knows that at some point in these arguments, and I've told her this 100 times. I'm like, listen, we're bitching about right now. You're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to stop for a second, see this picture,
Mm-hmm.
realize that, hey, I'm probably not right here, and I'm sorry, and I'm wrong, and let it go. I'm not dwelling on it. That's all you need.
Because we're really good at being wrong too. Like we're wrong a lot of times.
And I'm absolutely gonna sit there and say, guess what? I was fucking wrong. I fucked up, man. I was wrong.
Yeah.
Shit on me now. I'm apologizing. I'm wrong, and move on with it. But with her, it's like I want her to say you were wrong in this situation.
Yeah.
I am sorry. You're wrong.
Your dick's huge.
Just
Fluff me up a little bit.
Not even that. Just say, fuck. I fucked up.
Yeah.
My bad. Guess what? That's all you need to hear.
Mhm.
You don't need to grovel. You don't need to send me this huge text about how much you love me and everything. That's all you need to say. Hey, I overstepped it. I fucked. I thought about it wrong. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Done. But shoes on that other foot. We need to buy flowers.
Mm-hmm.
Take you out to dinner. We need to do all this shit. It's like, dude, I can admit when I'm wrong.
What I hate about that is that
And I wish I could say, hey, guess what? I can admit when I'm wrong, but it's not often.
sure.
Can't say that.
No.
I'm wrong a lot of times.
Sure.
And guess what? In my head, I think I'm right. But if you stop for a second and say, Daryl, listen to what you just said. Here's what you said. You're wrong. I'm like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I'll own that in a heartbeat.
Some people have that. I'm not going to die on this hill, even if you know the only outcome of this is you dying on the hill.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and I'm going to say something and you're going to say, no, you're not. Okay. I'm conflict adverse. I don't like to have conflict. I don't like to have.
Fucker, that's what your life is based on.
I don't like to have conflict.
The fuck you don't.
I don't. It just finds
No.
me.
It just finds you.
Conflict's like, hey, you home? Like, hey,
Conflict sends you a text. You up?
you up, babe? Yeah, I don't like to have like, but there's some times when you know you're right, and she's dead to rights. She's in the crosshairs,
Yeah.
and if I push it, and if I become who I really am inside, which is an overbearing cunt,
That's putting it lightly.
then you know. But what's the end game?
Yeah, exactly. And what are you accomplishing at that point?
The worst thing I hate, and this is like fucking shit, man. We're 13 years into being married. The worst thing I hate is when you have a fight, and let's say there's no declared winner. Let's say we both just put up the white flag and we both part.
Hey, you're right about this. I'm right about this.
The old agree to disagree.
Yeah, and guess what? Hey, well, let's meet in the middle and understand that
Sure.
we're gonna be here, and that's that.
What I hate, and I know you're not a coffee drinker, but this is my reference to it. In the morning, kids are getting ready for school. I'm getting coffee, and then we have a general conversation, and it's like, hey, so what do we have after school today? And she'll be like, oh, so-and-so has tumble, Max has this, whatever, you know, I'll start listing off the things. And that's like the entryway into having a good conversation about not last night. And then it's this, then it's that. And then it builds. And then she's getting ready to go to work. Give her a hug. And I say, I'm sorry. She says, she's sorry. I hate that whole apologetic thing. But you need it as a couple.
You do.
But I wish that we had, again, we need to be issued cards. And, you know, some cards are get out of jail free cards. Maybe I need one of those. Well, I definitely need one.
Yeah.
But like sometimes you push the issue. Sometimes you're a little bit too much Daryl, sometimes a little too much Chris. And you go, you know what? It was one of those days. I'm going to turn in one of these cards, even though it's valuable. I'm going to turn this in and let's wash this whole thing over. And let's get back to how we were 3 days before I turned into a fucking idiot. Yeah. I think couples need that.
This card's legit me saying, oh, I was an idiot.
Yes.
I understand it and whatever.
Even if you know you were right, let's just.
That's the worst part about it. Is I don't want you to put up a fucking billboard.
Sure.
Or make a Facebook post about it. I just want you to listen and just say, hey, fuck, I was wrong. I'm sorry I was wrong.
Sometimes you got ace king suited and you got to lay it down.
Move on.
You got to lay it down. Yeah.
And that's all I need. Just.
You're folding a sweet hand. You're folding it. But you know if you stayed in, you could have won the pot. I'm going to lay this down. And you show them. I'm laying down ace king suited. I'm laying it down. Just so we can get past this, whatever that is. And this is the person that you're synced up with for fucking ever. My wife does not believe in divorce. Obviously. Because if she did, I'd be living in a trailer somewhere. UFOs or gang violence?
Rain, I thought.
But yeah, I think it's kind of funny. Like,
Sunray.
What's cool about marriage is that you learn something new about the person every day. And what's bad about marriage is that you know all the bullshit that they have every fucking day. Like, you know what I mean?
It's the same thing that's cool with it is the bad thing.
Yeah.
You learn, you know.
You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, and that's where we're at. It's sometimes it sucks. And like I said, I don't need to be right every time. I mean, if you fucking punch me in the mouth and say, wow, you couldn't have been more wrong. Show me where I was wrong, and I'd be like, oh, fuck.
Show me on the doll where he touched you.
Yeah.
Did I take all my fucking pills? Oh, no, there's one. There she is. And brain. Go ahead.
All right,
Topic.
so yeah,
30 minutes in. Topic.
35 minutes in actually.
I'm going to push this one live next week, by the way, because this is.
So London,
Yes.
Jason London,
Yeah, I know.
doesn't think Matt Rife is funny. Where
Okay.
are you on? This is going to be an honest question. I really don't give a fuck about your answer.
Sure.
I don't really care about much that you say.
Thank you.
Where
Appreciate-
are you with Matt Rife? Do you think he's funny?
Yes, I think he's funny.
I do too.
I think Matt Rife gets a bad rap because of how pretty he is.
And that was the other thing that got brought up too. Like, he's not that good looking. Dude, every girl I know is throwing their fucking underwear at him. Like
Yeah.
the girl that cuts my hair is probably your age. She's been
Younger
cutting
than
my
you?
hair for fucking like 10 years now.
Sweet.
And she's, I think, single-ish. They went to see her and the other girl that runs the Supercuts next to me there, and they went to see him in Canada at Fallsview.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I'm making a sign asking him to marry me.
Right.
And like every girl I know wants to throw their underwear at this dude or their bra, and I'm like, I think he's a good-looking dude.
Well,
Dude,
so
and as far as joke telling, I don't think he's that good. His crowd work,
he's 10 out of 10.
second to none. Yeah.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
And I think that's where that's all he does is crowd work.
No. Here's the thing. I think that unfairly. So let's say that you're building an hour as a comedian. Okay.
Because you're gonna speak from experience right now. Right?
I'll speak from knowing comedy a little bit. Right. Yeah. Not from experience because I could never build an hour of comedy. But
Oh shit.
if you're a comedian, your proprietary information, your IP is the jokes that you tell that are building the hour. Okay? You're not going to go take your best joke or your closing joke and throw that on TikTok to get followers. You're not going to do that. Because if all that shit's out there in the universe, then you can't sell a special to Netflix of your hour. So I can appreciate where Matt Rife is in this weird situation of he's growing. He's been doing comedy since he's 17.
Well, he started like as he was like 14 or 15.
Yeah,
Ralphie
yeah.
May took him under his wing.
Yeah, he's
And
a
they
legit
paid for him to go places.
He's a prodigy when it comes to comedy, right?
Ralphie May saw that this kid had something. And
Exactly.
I didn't know this. I mean, and I've seen pretty much all of it. Matt Rife was on fucking Wild 'N Out with Nick Cannon.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
I saw some of the shit that he did. I was like, fuck, that was good, dude.
Yeah.
And just
He's got chops. He's got
He does.
legit chops.
I think he's quick. Very
Exactly. I don't now if I was going to nitpick about his style, I don't like the black scent stuff, but that's how he grew up.
And he says
So
that too.
so it's not a character with him. It wasn't a character with Ralphie May either, right? So
No. Rife even said, he goes, all I had were black friends.
Yeah.
That's who I grew up with.
yeah, I totally get that. So I'm going to take that old man shit and just throw it out, right? I think that he's in a weird situation where he's building an hour. If you were to put your beginning, middle, end, callbacks, and then closer out there on TikTok, he'd probably have the same amount of views. He'd probably still be very good, but you can't ditch all that shit and throw it out there in the universe if you want to sell a special to Netflix.
Shit, he's got a new one I was going to watch it the other night, but I'm like, I think Krista might want to watch one. So I'm like, I'll wait.
For sure, yeah. Now I can't tell you that I've ever heard him do a 30-minute set. I've never seen it, but I've seen the clips of. Okay, I've seen the clips of him doing crowd work, and that's the shit that you want to do. I mean, these guys are their own little brand.
Yeah.
So how do you grow your brand? If you have a fucking talent, like some guys can't fucking make a jump shot, but the dude could rip the rim down. Do fucking that. Build your brand and then work on your game. I think that's exactly what Matt Rife did. I think he's doing everything that he needs to do in order to be a powerhouse comedian. Now, what's the shelf life on that? I don't know that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's short, and I think he is doing everything he can to make hay while the sun's out right now.
Absolutely. So we could be. I mean, I've been a fan of stand-up comedy since I was like 7. You know, like I love it. I love stand-up comedy. I love the artistry of it. I think that there's people that are inherently funny. I'm a very funny guy, and I could go up and whatever. I'm a moderately funny guy. I think that I could go up and shoot the shit with people. I could never build jokes because I never had confidence in the jokes that I had to say. I would go do crowd work and walk into a story like the way you and I do podcasts, and it would end up being okay. But if you told me to put together a solid 15 with no crowd work, I'd shit the bed.
Yeah. In the best part about watching this, and again, it's all reels, it's TikToks or
Sure.
shit and whatever. But I mean, there was that one fucking time he's telling a story or whatever, and then somebody in the audience related to it.
Yeah.
And it was a smoking hot mom brought him cookies.
Yep.
And the whole thing was billed as MILF and cookies, and it got put out as a reel or whatever.
Great.
It was like, that song. And he absolutely murdered it. And he gets enough. The one girl gave him her phone and called the daughter.
Yep.
She was so hungover. And she's like, holy shit. And he's like, wait, this is your daughter? She's hot as fuck.
Right.
And
right.
I'm like, but the fact that he can come up with that shit just that fast and build on it and work that for an extra 10, 15 minutes is amazing.
You know what he reminds me of is, and I don't know if you can recall this, but in 2003-ish, Dane Cook just amassed everybody, right? Because Dane Cook used, and you can say Dane Cook's funny or not. This is what I'm getting at. This is a correlation between it. Dane Cook used the media that was available to grow who he was and grow his audience. Matt Rife is doing the same thing. Now, traditional comedians that are all bitter old fucking dickheads that aren't making money, that aren't selling tickets, they're going to shit on him because they didn't use the media that was available. Maybe it came along too late in their life. Maybe they're a little too long in the tooth in order to get it. They're not exercising the sheer ability that this guy has. Now you can say it's his looks or whatever the fuck it is, but Matt Rife is adopting the Dane Cook move now. We're old enough to see it.
And do you fault the guy for this?
No, not at all. No,
Dane Cook didn't have social media.
he did.
Behind him.
Dane Cook was the first person to use social media in order to get famous.
Barely,
yeah.
barely.
Yep.
There was no TikTok. There was no Instagram.
No.
There was no Twitter.
Dane Cook was
all that shit back
MySpace.
then. Yes. So that was the very first thing, and that's all he had. Where Rife can take a 1.5 minute segment of his show, make it a reel. It's on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
It's on Facebook.
Yep.
He's got a Twitter. It's out on YouTube, and millions of people are watching.
Yeah, you can't fault him for it. You can't.
And that's what he has at his disposal, and that's the world we live in.
You know, during COVID,
I'm not.
during
I think I think he's a beautiful human.
yeah,
He's a good-looking dude. He's young. Dude, he's what, 25, 26?
yeah, but he's got 7 years in the industry. I mean, if
even
not
more than
more,
that.
if not more, yeah.
Well, and everybody just thinks he just popped up out of nowhere. He's been around. He's cut his chops.
Everybody,
Ralphie May brought him along when he was like 14, 15.
and Ralphie
But
May's been
I
dead
think
for
he's
5
fine.
years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so if you look at, everyone says this too. Like, and I know you're not a Beatles guy, but the Beatles were playing for 12 hours a night in Hamburg, Germany, before they were the fucking Beatles. So there's no fly-by-night success in this industry. There just isn't. You got to do boots on the ground type shit. But really, really smart guys adapt the technology that's available to them in order to jump over the people that aren't using the technology. That's all he's doing.
Dude,
I
how great would it be for us to use Chat GTP, is that right?
yeah,
To write monologue for our podcast, and we just read that.
sure, did it.
I was drinking.
Didn't
Yeah,
work.
Yeah, for a bit.
Didn't work. No, I think a lot of people shit on him because unfairly. This is the other thing too. It doesn't really happen to men a lot. It's happened to Matt Rife. But if there's a pretty woman that's doing comedy, a lot of times people feel that woman's getting ahead because of her looks, because she's using her looks to get more viewers, and she's using sultry fucking language and makes all the guys want to fuck her, all that kind of shit, in order to get more views. Yeah, go ahead.
Would you put Chelsea Handler in that group?
12 years ago, yes. Yeah.
I didn't know where you were sexually, if you thought she was good looking.
I did, yeah.
Or funny.
Yeah.
I mean, because she did a comedy tour, and I think she put out a movie.
Yeah, Amy Schumer too. So Amy Schumer
I
would.
didn't think she was that funny.
No, Amy Schumer also kind of parroted a bunch of other comedians' jokes and premises, right? I've never seen 10 minutes of Matt Rife's stand-up, so I can't tell you if I think he's a good stand-up or not. But who the fuck am I to judge a good stand-up or not?
I watched his first fucking special, and I mean, there's highs and lows,
Sure,
as there is with most comedians and whatnot. But there was highs and lows with that too, and I was like, oh fuck, this 8 minutes was kind of dead, and then the hammer comes out.
yeah.
I was like, holy fuck, this is great.
Well, and that's what I mean. So the barrier to entry for a good comedian is, you're aggressive through your 20s, you start figuring out in your 30s, and you're refined in your 40s. He's still 15 fucking years away from that.
And I don't think he's going to go there, though. I don't think he's going to last that long.
I think he'll end up doing.
You don't see comedians like Eddie Murphy and all that shit, Chappelle, hold that candle for this long. Now these guys are. I think it's a 5 to 7 year window, and it's done.
His flame's burning very bright. I think he's gonna. I think he's. I'm scared for him. And who am I? But I'm scared for him that he's going to go the Dane Cook route and get into movies and end up getting away from the thing that made him great, which was doing his comedy. Yeah. Now, when you're doing movies, are you going up every night? Are you refining your act? Are you building an hour? Are you doing all the things necessary in order to make a good hour? But if you're getting paid $15 million to do a movie, who the fuck cares?
Yeah.
His job is to make money for him. And he's doing it.
He's doing it.
Yeah, so
I would absolutely go see him if I had the chance ever arose. I would go see him.
Yeah,
everybody that bought tickets that I know that went to see him said he put on a great show,
dude. Around here,
and I know we have the comedy scene here in Buffalo. Rob Lederman and the Comics Cafe and all that shit, and everybody's biggest fear or biggest arousal was sitting in the front row.
Yeah,
because who sits in the front row? You either want to interact or you want to be famous.
Yep.
But there's people that just sit there and they'll say something stupid and get fucking absolutely torched.
Yeah.
And not have anything. If you and I were sitting in the front row, I have a feeling we would be offered a contract shortly after the show is over because we would be quick-witted and have something to offer and fuck with this comedian.
I also really respect. I mean, the art form of stand-up comedy is fucking terrifying,
dude. And that's the other half of that. You got to be comfortable, and it's a tough thing to do.
Yeah. So
I can't talk in front of people. This is hard for me to do. It's even harder when you leave to go get a beer and they'll come back for 8 minutes.
That's why I have a cooler right here. Just for you.
Anything. It's very hard for me to do.
Yeah. Doing, and I was mediocre. I was below mediocre at best at stand-up comedy. 100%. However, one thing that I do love about him is that he was living, I think, in Cleveland, and he got a job offer in Atlanta. He ended up going to, he's high school age. He got put up in an all black comedy club, and he was kind of like the middle or opener for like a year at an all black comedy club. So then you got this, like, at the time, not so beautiful white dude coming up middle or opening up the show. And that dude, he fucking walked the walk. And you can't hate on him.
No.
What you can hate is, let's say that,
I mean, he was on Wildin' Out. Say what you want to say, but that was on MTV. It was the fucking big thing.
it was a good platform. Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
He got to meet numerous celebrities, numerous comics.
Yep. And he held his own.
And he held, and that's all he had to do. He held his own. He
Yeah.
wasn't bottom of the barrel. He wasn't at the top. He held his own, and that opened doors for him now.
Well, I think
Why don't I understand people? I mean, I guess everybody hates people that have success.
yeah, and also people that are
Haters.
way attractive. If you look at who's going to
I'm
be,
more pissed off at him for being beautiful than I am for being a comic.
sure.
I'm funny too, but I look like fucking overbaked potato sometimes.
Holler.
Most days.
So
I
around
stole
here,
that from you. Stole your
And-
joke.
so St. Louis is the big draw. So like we get marketed to a lot of the places in St. Louis that are going to have like theater comics and all that kind of shit, right? This is how
The St. Lunatics.
St. Lunatics. This is how big Matt Rife is. They put up an event for Matt Rife because Matt Rife was going to go do a theater tour there, right? Any comedian that was coming into town before Matt Rife got there, it was promoted under the Matt Rife event. So you have this big draw, and then you have all these little acts that are getting a boost in visibility because more people are interested in Matt Rife. I think Shane Gillis is going to be the biggest comedian next year. He's just moving that way. He's great.
I've seen a lot of his shit lately, and I'm like, he is funny.
He's awesome. Yeah. But Shane Gillis has been a slow burn, and it's earned and it's refined, and he's doing what he needs to do to build the hour, and then he's going to sell his special. He's going to do another hour. Go ahead.
He was on a lot of podcasts.
Yes. Yeah, he's on a ton.
Yes. So he's in a bunch of podcasts, which is getting him, visibility, where people that aren't really privy to the comedy scene, me, see him on those and reels and shit. And like that one you sent me about
Yeah.
him drinking.
Yeah.
It just came through my reel. I just watched it. I'm like, this is weird. He keeps sending me shit that I've just seen, but I'm like, it was funny how he does it.
But let's say that Matt Rife's hour is comparable to Shane Gillis, which I would put Shane Gillis way ahead of Matt Rife as far as a comparable hour, right?
Yes,
I just would.
too. He's that kind of comedy.
Yeah,
Shane Gillis.
but Shane Gillis also looks like a guy that you would see at a corner bar talking shit. Matt Rife looks like a guy that you would see fucking your girlfriend in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And
you'd be okay with it. When he walks out, you're buying him a beer.
Yeah, like, hey, how was that? Yeah, so I appreciate stand-up comedy so fucking much, and the ability to get up every day and walk through a brick wall. You have a bad night. I mean, I didn't have the chops for it. I had a bad night, and I was like, I'm never doing that shit again. I'm never doing it again. It scared me away. Guys that have the fortitude to keep going after it and keep doing it. And you hear all the good comics talk about, oh, this one night I fucking ate all the dicks in the world. And they laugh about how funny it was that they fucking bombed. We're talking like Rogan. We're talking Shane Gillis. We're talking Ari Shaffir. Like all those, like Bill Burr. All those guys that you put them with a mic in the middle of Times Square and they're going to make people laugh. They bomb. Go ahead, Daryl. Yeah, question.
Would you be open to writing let's just go 5-minute show, comedy, telling jokes, 5 minutes, maybe 7 at most, walking into an open mic?
Yeah, I could do it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I could do it.
Do you want to do that within the next year? You and me,
Yeah, I would do it.
and we're gonna make a bet. We're gonna put a bet on it.
Yeah. Yeah, I
We
could
need
definitely
an
do it.
independent person, which is going to be tough to find, to judge whose was better.
Mine or yours?
Yes.
Oh.
We can't just like, go out and have Haz say, hey, whose was
Buddy.
better because whatever.
No, I and this is, I'm not braggy at all, but I think I would win against you. I do.
That's
Yeah.
really cute.
But like, if
I
there's,
have zero expectations. I just
Of course.
figured it would be funny as fuck if we wrote it, piece of paper,
sure,
whatever, on your phone, whatever
Yeah.
you wanted to, and then all of a sudden one night you're here.
I still write jokes all the time. I still do.
We
Yeah.
walk into a comedy or not a comedy club,
Just open mic.
just like the place we went to with all the white vans,
Yeah.
and just said, "This is what we're doing,"
Retardation.
and have at it and see
Yeah.
what happens.
Absolutely. Yeah. I would totally do it. I wish that,
Do it. I'm in.
I wish around, so
More
I-
for the goof than anything. And if you win, that's great. I mean,
I don't
what it
care
is.
about winning or not, but like,
yeah, you do. You do. I do. I want to win. But
no,
you have a little edge at this than I do. But I want to see if I can close that gap and whatever.
yeah. One thing
think
about
it'd
me
be
that
fucking hilarious.
I don't have is
Walker
with,
effect.
that's true. The second thing I don't have is I don't necessarily get scared being on a stage in front of people.
I inherently do.
Yeah. And most people do.
I would need a little bit of alcohol. What do they call that?
Gay?
No, in golf they call it swing oil. What would you call that?
Midget dicks?
No.
Oh. No.
Liquid confidence.
Yeah. So
I would need
I
that, and it's all I need.
I'm in. I mean, I'm in town in a couple weeks. We can do it then.
No. I'm gonna need a little more time than 2.5 weeks.
Okay. Yeah, I think it'd be cool.
In the coming year.
Around my birthday, let's say in May.
Yeah, 100%. Let's do it for your birthday weekend. Come on.
Yeah, we'll find an open mic. We'll go up. And we'll
Yeah, which are pretty much everywhere, and it's gonna be a pop-up thing.
Yeah.
We'll tell everybody here on the show or on our Facebook page or OK Terrific page, hey, we're going to, the fucking Bears Den at this bar.
Sure.
Open night, open mic.
Oop.
Night,
Yeah, you sure did. Sure
open
did.
mic night. And we got 5 minutes. So
Yeah, I mean,
whatever's like, what would you don't want to be up there for 20 minutes.
no, typically open mic you get 5.
All right, let's do 5 minutes.
5's tough.
I can do
5 is either the longest. 5 minutes either feels like 10 years, or it feels like,
12 seconds.
or you're at 15 minutes. You're like, oh my god, I went 2 times over. Yeah, I'd love to do it. I miss
I
it.
think it'd be funny as fuck.
I miss the challenge of it. One thing that I love about the Buffalo scene now versus when I was doing it. Now it seems like there's open mics fucking everywhere.
Work.
When I was doing shit, it was like open mic was like you go to fucking Allentown and some guy crying into a fucking microphone with his acoustic guitar, which I'm totally fine with too. But like it was never like, okay, so that guy cried playing fucking Blackbird and now I'm going to go tell dick jokes. There's no way to sound out fucking what you're saying or what you're trying to say. So the only way to get your shit out was to, by the grace of God, Randy at Comics Cafe let me go on a Wednesday in front of people. And that's tough when you don't have the ability to fucking work your shit out. It might sound funny to you in your head, but it's until it's in like live action, you just don't fucking know. So yeah, I would totally do it. I wish there was places around here that did open mic. I would probably swing in every now and then and just do some jokes because I'll be taking a dump and I'll be like, that's kind of a funny premise, and I'll fucking write out a joke and then it just sits there on my phone. There's no way to fucking get it out. There's no way for me to like
21 Jump Street when Jonah Hill does the slam poetry.
Yeah. I mean, so that's but that's the thing with open mics back then in Buffalo. It was like that. I mean, open mic was was like Allentown almost specific, and yeah, you go to Nietzsche's and it's like, yeah, some guy just played Disarm by fucking Smashing Pumpkins and I'm gonna go tell a joke about how my dad used to punch me in the face. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I mean? You can't gauge what's gonna work or what's not gonna work. But I think a comedy open mic would be fucking awesome. I would go to, when I'm in Buffalo in a couple weeks, I'd go to that dry it then just to get in front of people. For real, I would.
Don't make me do this to you.
No, I would. I will.
Like completely unprepared. I'm just gonna fucking sign you up and take you.
Yeah.
Watch you fucking. I'm gonna heckle the fuck out of you.
Well, no, I think I would do okay. I would do as good as some people starting out. I'm not gonna do as good as like a seasoned comedian. I don't have a fucking back drawer of shit that I can pull out and go, this one's gonna fucking kill. But like, you know, I have jokes on my phone that I think are really good jokes that I've never fucking told anybody. You know, but I'm not like a, you know, what'd the fucking doctor say to the fucking blind chick? You know, I'm not one of those guys either.
Yeah.
Like
You're just waiting for the guy in the drums in the background.
yeah, boom. I've always been more of a storyteller, and that's also problematic with.
It's what?
God damn it! It's also problematic with 5 minutes. You know, 5 minutes is tough.
Yeah, it's got to hit or you're fucked.
Yeah, so like if I go up and go, dicks are weird, right? And then people go, okay, we're gonna pay attention. I'm like,
Am I right? Am I right?
yeah. Hey, how about dicks, huh? You know, but no, I have a solid 5 minutes on dicks that in my phone. That is, I've never told to anybody. I think it would do okay. But I'm willing to say I would not use that stuff that I write. Not my taking a dump. This is funny material. I'm willing to say that if you say from this day till the day that we go on stage, this is the only time that you have to create whatever it is you're going to say, I would go do that. And I'd love to challenge. And I also, I totally admit, you don't know what naked feels like until you're on stage by yourself and people are looking at you.
Dude,
It is.
I'm already, and I know this is 6 or 7 months away.
Sure.
I'm already panicking right now.
It's like being completely underprepared, knowing your arm is trash, and you get called out of the bullpen to get the last out in the World Series.
I'm already seeing it because I'm picturing myself on that little shitty stage in front of
Yeah.
a shitty microphone, and there's 37 people out there that are listening for poetry, and we have to do comedy, and there's a light on me. And I can't see anything.
One of the things
And I know that I have to be. I can't leave for 5 minutes. There's a guy with a gun over there. I have 5 minutes to stand here and hear some laughs.
the worst part is when
you don't get a laugh.
Yeah.
And
Like-
it's just like in poker. In my eyes, it's just like poker.
Sure.
Start getting bad hands.
Yeah.
You try to manufacture something.
You're fucked.
It always goes bad.
You're fucked.
And I have a feeling it's the same way there.
Yeah.
So I have to figure this out in the next 6 to 7 months. I've got to find a home run.
One of the coolest things I've ever seen, and we can punch out after this and do our recorded ones, but Brian, who you know loosely, Brian lived with me. I met Brian when he was a dishwasher, you know, and he immediately became a friend. And I would take him to bars and stuff like that when he was allegedly way underage. And we go to allegedly Slick Willie's. And we would go get drunk and stuff like that. And he was like, no, I want to be a stand-up comedian. That's why I'm working at a stand-up comedy club. And then he ended up like living with me, and he was always writing jokes. He was always writing good premises. And I was just like, I'm better if I just go up there. And even if I had things prepared, I would just like this. I'd go on tangents, and usually it'd be okay. It'd be a C-. Brian was writing A+ to B- material
Yeah.
before he ever was even on mic. The key to stand-up comedy, and this is where I give Matt Rife a lot of credit, And even the guy that just keeps trying to beat his head against the wall and get something in his 60s. The key is, to loosely phrase Rocky, when you get punched in the face, when you have a bad set, to fucking not fall down, not stay down, to get back up and go up the next fucking night. And I did not have that dexterity when it came to, thank you, good word, when it came to comedy. I didn't have it in me. Brian, I would see, he would write these jokes, he'd sound them out on me, he'd write other jokes that I would never even hear about, and then I'd go see him do comedy. And when you see the things that your friend is doing, and no matter what the crowd is into, if they're in a good mood, if they want dick jokes, and he doesn't tell dick jokes, and he keeps fucking doing it, and he gets the laugh, you're like, God damn it, that guy deserves any fucking. I saw him in Raleigh about 6 years ago, and he opened up for a few people, and I
came down to visit you. I remember
you
told me that he opened up for somebody with a big name.
Yeah, it was one of the proudest, and I had nothing to do with it. But like, and it sounds condescending to say that you're proud of somebody, I guess, a little bit.
Why would you not be proud of somebody?
I don't know. I was insanely proud. Thank you very much. I was insanely proud of him to see him doing the shit that he was doing and getting what he deserved out of it.
And he's good at it.
He's
funny, quiet.
Yeah.
When we hung out with him, I was like, I'm waiting for a laugh a minute.
Yeah.
Dude was just quiet.
No, he
would give it to you every once. I mean, once we started drinking and shit kicked in.
Yeah.
You know, he got quite funny, but he didn't press it.
No.
Like, well, I'm a comedian by trade, so I got to make everybody laugh all the time. He was just a normal dude.
No, he is. So
funny jokes from here and there. We all laughed. I mean, I made jokes. You made jokes. He laughed. I'm like,
yeah.
Dude, wait. We just said something funny, and a comedian, like a legit comedian, laughed. We're doing all right.
And the telltale sign is when really good comedians that are nationally known, like sellout places, call him to open up because they know that he's not going to shit the fucking bed.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's knowing that guy from when he's fucking 17, 18 years old to, whatever, 6 years ago or something like that, and watching him, it was just like, holy shit. It's so cool to see it.
We hung out down there
the
last time I was down there visiting you and everything. And then a year later, I see he's booked here at Helium, opening up for some big name acts and everything.
Yeah.
I'm like, I see his name on the Facebook thing, and I'm like, fuck, I know Herberger.
Yeah.
I know that guy.
Yeah. It's
opening up, and there's like his name's all over everything with everybody else. I'm like, you kind of made it.
Yeah. He deserves it.
Flying around a G4, but the dude is funny, and people know that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, good for him. I love it.
Yeah. I don't know
him like you do, but
I was just insanely like, whoever it is, like if you have a friend that is going to law school and they finally pass the bar and they finally get to be a lawyer, it's the same kind of like fucking like, you fucking did it, good, you fucking did it. You know what I mean? But getting up in front of people when there's a light on you and the only thing you hear is you until other people laugh is fucking terrifying.
Good. I'm all about it. I want to be scared. I want to just fall on my face. I want to get booed.
Yeah.
And I think it'd be funniest 5 minutes ever. And just the best part is one of our friends or our wives are going to take a video of it.
Yeah.
To be there forever. And we're like, hey, guess what? We're going to watch fucking Daryl and Chris eat shit.
Totally.
And here we go.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it'd be so fun.
Our friends are going to be like, well, that was fucking pretty funny. Why didn't these guys laugh? I'm like, well, I'm going to open up like, if you don't like dick humor or shit humor, you're kind of in the wrong place.
The problem with comedy too is that there's no inside jokes in comedy.
No.
So you have to be uniquely funny to the premise that you're bringing to the table.
Yeah.
You can't go, I got a friend named whatever, and no one knows that friend, and you're like, fuck. Yeah. And that's the difference between people like me and you and people like Brian. Brian can invent universes and walk you into his universe and make it funny. we're only funny in the universe that we exist in with the people that we exist in the universe with. So like,
Wow. I can't believe you got that all out. Wow.
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. And I don't mean to be a fanboy. I'm a fanboy for my friends that are doing what they want to do and they do it well.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I
You're a
appreciate
funny motherfucker.
and I appreciate the fucking hustle. But yeah, to
I just
segue.
think it would be funny just for us to shit on each other and go to an open mic, just walk in cold for the most part.
Sure, and we'll play it on here.
See who can get the biggest laugh just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Well, and I was at this.
Dude, you did 5 minutes. You got about 6 or 7 laughs. You
Done.
did 5 minutes. They booed the fuck out of you the whole time.
Sure.
Guess what?
Yeah. Yeah. I was at a place.
I think I would probably snap if I got booed. I think it'd get worse.
Dude, and this is going way, way back. The times that I did well, I felt like I had the flu afterwards. The times that I did bad, I felt like I had the flu afterwards. There was no like, like I'm always hunting for the instant gratification of things.
Really?
Drugs, alcohol, women. There's
Every vice known to man.
yeah.
Hey, Beavis, spit it out.
Balls. But the guys that can go and take that feeling and go, no, I'm going to be better next time. I give them all the fucking credit. That's why, like,
All the props.
you can't shit on people like Matt Rife. You just can't, because like the guy, obviously everybody is shit when they start. Everybody. You're not a one-hit wonder.
No, and show me a comedian that hasn't bombed.
Yeah.
The
Well,
best
dude,
ones are the ones that talk about it are like, I was complete dog shit.
yeah.
I went and I'm like, I was so ready. I was so pumped. And I fucking laid the biggest shit of my life.
Yeah. When you set the premise and then the next thing should be the laugh and then there's no laugh and you're like, oh no.
Wait. I saw this on TV, but there's always a laugh. They're like,
Yeah.
it's laughter. It's a laugh track.
It
Wait,
doesn't
but
work.
Where is it?
Well, that's why I hated. So I recently watched. Are you a Seinfeld guy or are you not a Seinfeld guy? Not Seinfeld comedy, but like Seinfeld show.
I didn't hate it. I watched it. Yeah.
So I was such a stand-up comedy nerd that in the first times that they showed Seinfeld, it was him doing what I thought was really bad comedy in the beginning. Hey, I was at the airport today. What's it? Like all that kind of shit, right? And I'm like, this show sucks. It's about a shitty comedian. I'm not going to fucking watch this. So I never watched Seinfeld until I think a year ago when it was on Netflix. I watched it from start to finish. It's a great show, masterfully written. But in the beginning, it seemed like Jerry Seinfeld was a shitty comedian.
Yeah.
And then when you watch Seinfeld, I'm not necessarily a fan of his. He has a movie called Comedian. It's filmed in black and white. It's avant-garde. It's whatever. But it's about him like killing all his old material. He's starting to build new material from the ground up, which is what every comedian does usually every 2 years.
Yeah.
And at that point, I was like, now I understand Seinfeld. Now I get it.
The very first time I went to Vegas with Dino, and Charlie, and Hobbs, and Grant. One day we ended up watching. Why are you watching TV while you're in Vegas?
Mm-hmm.
We did, and we turned on TV and it was Seinfeld, and it was the movie phone episode.
Yeah.
That episode now is ingrained in our text group.
Yeah. It's brilliant.
Every great once in a while, we're like, welcome to movie phone. And then somebody else is like, press 2 for Brown Eyed Girl.
Yeah.
And then they're like, what the fuck was the other movie? Hobbs was always the one that brought it up. It was some weird movie, Chunnel. Press 3 for Chunnel. And why don't you just tell me what movie you want to watch? And that has been the premise of our text group
Yeah.
for the last 13 years.
So I literally stepped over Genius. Probably it's highly regarded as one of the greatest sitcoms of all time. I stepped over it because of how much I loved stand-up comedy. And the first time I ever saw it, it was him. It was the guy that's the comedian doing stand-up comedy. It's the thing I wanted to be as a kid from when I'm fucking 7. He was doing bad comedy. I'm like, well, he sucks. But he's still like the highest grossing comedian of all fucking time. And I'm like, man, it sucks. It's fucking dumb. Maybe I'm just bad at picking fucking winners. Maybe it's that. So, all right, we'll bounce out of here. And hey, the next 2 episodes that you hear from us, which no one will see this anyways, they're going to be recorded.
Watch this right now.
I did not build this is recorded thing. So we're going to get text next Friday. We're going to text the Friday after that. Go fuck your mother. It's
Where
fine.
are you going the Friday after that?
I have to go to Vegas to do podcasts for a weed seminar.
Hang on.
For weeds.
Hang on. Somebody's big timing us.
I got the
nice
gift
to
of
go.
gab, Daddy.
Must be nice to just be able to go to Vegas.
Yeah, dude.
You know?
Someone's gonna get a Dino's hoodie, and that somebody's you, extra large. All right, we'll get out of here. Thanks everyone for listening.
Hey,
This has been
they go from the
Comedian
moment
Talk
Lawrence
by 2 guys that know nothing about fucking stand-up comedy.
Germany's own. Daryl and Chris.
Anyways, Brian, if you ever see this, we're very proud of you. We love you very much.
That boy Herberger.
Keep fucking that chicken, guys, and we'll see you guys live in
So next week,
3 weeks. Yeah.
The week after, you're not going to be here.
No.
The week after that, you'll be in Buffalo.
Yes. Ish.
When?
Okay. I'm in Buffalo the 16th through the 20th.
All right. So I have poker on the 16th, and I can't mess. It's the final table of the league I'm in.
Sure.
It'll start at like 6:30. So I did mention if we're going to do a Vinny's podcast, which I think we need to do,
Absolutely.
like 11 to 2.
Sure.
Then we drink the rest of the afternoon. And then
Allegedly.
5:30 and just
You're better when you're a little buzzed playing poker.
it did not work so well last week.
Well,
Grand.
yeah. All right. Well, we'll get out of here.
Yeah. Thanks to the one person watching was me.
Yeah.
That was me.
You better believe this episode is going live again Friday. So this one's going live Friday at like fucking 9. The next one's going, the one we do next is going to go Friday at 10:30. And then the next Friday is going to be Trash Pandas.
Wait, I thought we were doing it next.
No, we got one more and then Trash Pandas.
One more. Okay.
Yeah.
We have
I'm
no
gonna
idea
go
where this is going.
I'm doing a shot of tequila right now. All right. Anyways, Matt Rife, you're gorgeous. And if you ever want to follow my wife, it can be arranged.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're out of here.